It starts with a word that has ruined more afternoons than any insult ever could: free. In a world where everything is getting pricier, where every bill feels like a reminder that you're not in control, free doesn't just sound attractive. It sounds like justice. And Archie Bunker, a man who measures life in victories and losses, hears free the way other people hear a trumpet. He doesn't pause to ask what the catch might be. He doesn't slow down to read the room. He hears opportunity, and opportunity is the one thing Archie believes he deserves. The visitor arrives like a man who has practiced this entrance 1,000 times. He carries himself with the calm confidence of officialdom. He talks in programs and inspections and conservation, words designed to make homeowners feel responsible and lucky at the same time. He listens patiently while Archie complains about fuel costs, government waste, the whole world going wrong. And he doesn't challenge Archie. He does something far more effective. He agrees with him. He validates Archie's frustration. He feeds him the emotional oxygen that makes Archie feel like a man whose opinions still matter. Then he introduces the instrument, a meter, a little device with a needle that can be made to look like science, even when it's mostly theater. He presses it against the wall, and the needle jumps. He explains that the reading is severe. Heat is pouring out. Money is evaporating. Worse, he warns that the furnace is dangerous, that it could be flagged, that it could be shut down. He makes it sound like an emergency has been hiding in the walls all along, and only he has discovered it. This is where the trap closes, because once fear enters the room, people stop negotiating. They start obeying. Edith's concern rises immediately. She's the kind of person who worries about the future, even when the present looks fine. Gloria sees the performance for what it is and gets irritated. Mike wants evidence, logic, reasons. But Archie is already spiraling into the one emotional state that makes him easiest to control: panic disguised as certainty. He doesn't want to appear afraid, so he becomes aggressive. He argues, demands answers, insists he's not going to be pushed around. And the salesman responds with the gentlest possible weapon: calm authority. He doesn't fight Archie. He lets Archie fight himself. The numbers come next, big numbers. Costs that make Archie flinch. New equipment, new insulation, major work. Archie complains and resists, but the salesman has been building to one moment, the moment where he becomes the hero. He says the materials can be free. The house can be used as a model home. Archie can get the benefit without the cost, a special arrangement, a rare opportunity. All he has to pay for is shipping and installation. It's pitched as a bargain. It's pitched as a compliment. It's pitched as if Archie has been selected. And Archie signs. He signs because he wants to believe the world has finally offered him a win. He signs because pride is cheaper than caution in the moment. He signs because turning down the deal would mean admitting he might not understand it. And Archie's entire identity is built on never admitting that. Once the ink dries, everything accelerates. The salesman instructs Archie to turn down the heat. The house grows colder. Edith wraps herself in worry and layers. Gloria gets angrier with every minute. Mike becomes more openly confrontational. Archie tries to act like this is all part of the plan, but the physical discomfort exposes what emotional discomfort can't. The family is suffering for his pride. The thermostat becomes a symbol. The room becomes proof that free has a cost, and the cost is being paid in real time. Then the trucks arrive. Equipment shows up. The deal becomes action. And action is the hardest stage to reverse, because now there are workers on ladders, men in the yard, movement that makes the situation feel official. Archie begins to realize that he may have invited a takeover of his own home. He tries to push back with bluster, threatening, shouting, accusing the salesman of pressure and deception. But the salesman has the strongest shield in America: a signed contract. Paper turns Archie's anger into noise. Archie calls for help, expecting someone to rescue him. But rescue is never as simple as it looks in movies. Authority doesn't always appear with a magic wand. At first, the response is frustratingly practical. A contract is a contract. A signature is a signature. Archie's outrage meets the cold reality of how traps are designed, just legal enough to slow down justice, just persuasive enough to lure you in. The escape comes through a different kind of power, details. Someone asks questions that aren't emotional, aren't dramatic, but are deadly to a scam. Where's the permit? Where's the license? Who authorized this work? Suddenly, the salesman's calm begins to crack. He can talk through argument, but he can't talk through paperwork. The more specific the questions become, the less the performance works. The deal begins to unravel. And once it unravels, the salesman's priorities shift. He doesn't want to fight. He wants to disappear. He offers to cancel. He retreats. He pulls the operation back before it becomes a legal disaster for him. The household warms up again, but not fully. A house can regain heat quickly. Pride takes longer. Archie is left humiliated, furious, and quietly shaken because he came close to losing control of something basic: his home, his family's comfort, the sense that he can protect them. And because Archie can't process vulnerability gently, he processes it loudly, insisting it was everyone else's fault, insisting he was targeted, insisting he was almost robbed, as if almost being fooled is the same as outsmarting the fool. Then the story pivots into a different arena, where the threat isn't a contract, but a marriage slowly shifting under pressure. Gloria is not thinking about insulation anymore. She's thinking about distance. She watches Michael becoming more academic, more polished, more absorbed in a world of ideas and words that make him feel superior, without him even noticing. She can feel a gap opening, and gaps are terrifying because you don't know what falls into them until it's too late. Her fear comes out sideways. She asks questions that sound dramatic, even silly, but carry real emotional weight. Would Michael sacrifice for her? Would he stand with her if it cost him something? Michael responds with jokes and dismissal because he believes the question is irrational and he doesn't know how to handle the insecurity beneath it. But Gloria doesn't want logic. She wants reassurance. She wants the kind of certainty Archie was chasing earlier, just in a different form. When Michael invites an academic friend over, the tension becomes visible. The dinner table turns into a stage. Michael and his friend trade references and corrections, turning conversation into a contest. Gloria tries to participate, makes small mistakes, and is gently but unmistakably pushed aside. Go get coffee. Help in the kitchen. You'll be more useful there. It's framed as practicality, but it feels like exile. Gloria isn't just being asked to serve snacks. She's being asked to leave the world her husband is building right in front of her. That's the moment where humiliation becomes anger. Gloria reaches a breaking point, and her outburst isn't polite. It isn't elegant, but it's honest. She refuses to be treated like a background character in her own home. She refuses to be managed like a piece of furniture. Upstairs, away from the performance, Gloria finally says the truth out loud. She's afraid she's being left behind. She's afraid Michael will wake up one day and realize he belongs to a world she can't enter. And Michael, for the first time, realizes that his pursuit of respect has been costing him intimacy. He thought he was improving their future. He didn't notice he was making his present colder. Edith, in her quiet way, becomes the emotional anchor again. She doesn't argue about vocabulary. She argues about humanity. She reminds Gloria that intelligence is not a single ladder with one person climbing higher. It's instincts. It's empathy. It's reading people. It's surviving life. She reminds Michael that a marriage isn't a debate club. It's a partnership, and partnership dies when one person becomes the audience instead of the participant. The surprise twist is that the academic friend isn't impressed by Michael's performance either. He admits he didn't enjoy the evening being turned into an ego contest. He liked the human parts more than the intellectual show. That revelation shatters the illusion Michael was chasing. He wasn't winning admiration. He was losing connection. The reconciliation that follows is imperfect, but it's the kind of imperfect that matters because it's real. Gloria admits fear. Michael admits blindness. And they make a practical promise. Education won't be a wall. It will be something they share. Michael will help Gloria learn too, not because she needs saving, but because partnership means nobody is left on the other side of the conversation. By the end, the two storylines echo each other in a way that feels almost poetic. Archie nearly loses control because he chases a bargain and ignores the cost. Michael nearly loses connection because he chases status and ignores the person sitting beside him. Both men confuse victory with safety. Both learn, in their own harsh way, that the things that keep a home warm are not just heaters and insulation. Their attention, respect, and the willingness to listen before the room turns cold.